Host your holiday party at Apex Entertainment this year. Book early and save. Receive a $15 Apex gift card for each guest with holiday parties booked before October 1st. With flexible event space, attractions, and customizable menus, Apex is the perfect holiday party destination. For more information, contact the sales team or go to apexentertainment.com.
Inbound to the Tatum. Tatum falls down. Floats it ahead to Schroeder. Schroeder for Smart. He's got to look at the buzzer. Got it! Marcus Smart drills a three, and the Celtics have forced overtime on opening night.
Oh, heartbeat still. Give me my banana sandwich now. They always say Smart can't shoot, but damn it, when you need it, he's on point.
You said you'd foul. I said they should foul. But apparently nobody told the Knicks, and we're going to overtime.
Now, the most improbable thing that played out last night played out at Madison Square Garden. Even Kemba Walker on the final play is like, who's going to shoot that? Oh, Marcus? Hey, go ahead, take it. I've seen you shoot in practice. Go ahead, take it. Celtics fall in double overtime to the New York Knicks in their opener last night, their home opener tomorrow night at TD Garden against the Raptors, a game you can hear here. Nope, scratch that. That's not on the Sports Hub either. Another doubleheader. We got a Bruins game again tomorrow night. 8:39 here on the Sports Hub. Adam Jones, Christian Arcand with you till midnight. Phone call 617-779-0985. Celtics again fall in double overtime. Kind of a strange game. I mean, the Celtics are down late in regulation. They're down for much of that fourth quarter. They battle their way back. They make it a one-possession game. They actually make it a one-point game on a deep, deep three-pointer by Jaylen Brown. Julius Randle comes down, hits a couple of free throws on a broken play going the other way, where Tom Thibodeau, I guess, was begging for his players to foul. And as Grandy said there on the broadcast, they should have fouled. They did not. Instead, they give Marcus Smart a wide-open three, which, you know, probably most of the time will work out for you. That one he decided to hit. They went to overtime. They went to double overtime. And finally, the New York Knicks, and a couple of ex-Celtics, by the way, specifically Evan Fournier, pulled away in that game. So, Arcand, I know you did the double OT last night. You did the post-post.
Sure did.
Extended reaction to that game last night. What was your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is that they looked like last year's Celtics. I didn't see much of a difference. I felt they fell into the same bad habits that last year's team would fall into, from Marcus Smart to Jason Tatum to the lackluster defense and not fighting through picks late in the game. I just thought there was a lot of that. I thought it was a lot of the same stupid crap that we were coming on the air and yelling and screaming about all last year, and really all the couple of years before that too. I mean, it's not like this is new. And so I sort of wonder, you know, it's young players on this team. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both still very young players, but at some point, like, you're so ingrained in how you play, and you're so ingrained in how sort of the system works and everything. And with Marcus Smart still as a leader and a, you know, pivotal person on that team, I just wonder how much different it's going to be this year. You know, I think Ime Udoka is probably a good coach. I don't really know. I mean, I couldn't tell you much from that one game. I didn't think he impressed me all that much or anything like that. But it's mostly the same guys. You know, the new guys weren't there. Now Horford, new guy. I mean, that's kind of a stretch anyway. But Richardson wasn't playing. You saw Schroeder a little bit. But, you know, Hernan Gomez didn't play. Cantor didn't play. Like, a lot of guys just didn't play. And I'm sitting there watching them going, these guys look the same. They look like the same team.
So I know Gary Washburn wrote something similar in the Globe today. Again, this is your reaction last night. Like, I felt this way watching them in the preseason. Like, I'm like, they look the same. They look the same. How many games did we come in after them? We're like, they look the same. They don't look that different. It's a new coach. It's a new GM. It's you know, some new players, new faces, but they look the same. And, you know, I just find it hard to believe they're all that different. Unless Tatum has another leap in him, or Jaylen Brown has a leap in him, and Jaylen was, you know, great last night in that game. And, you know, 46 points, right? Is that what he finished with? A career high. The most ever by a Celtic in a season opener. They do look the same. And I'm afraid that, you know, they're not going to be much better off in the Eastern Conference. I'm afraid of that with this team. And, you know, Tatum is at the backdrop of all of it. Tatum was horrendous last night. Horrendous. And I didn't love his answer. Do you see some of his answers after the game? And maybe you handled some of it on the postgame last night, Arcand. But, like, I was looking at some of the stuff that Tatum had to say after the game, and it annoyed me. He says, sometimes you got to laugh at yourself.
I didn't know. He didn't do that because I didn't hear it yet.
I guess I'm good for one of those a season. Hopefully that's the last one. Get it out of the way. We got 81 more. Like, don't tell me this is your only selfish bad shooting night. You're good for more of those than one per season. You're only good for one of those per season, and you're laughing at yourself. It didn't look like you were laughing at yourself last night. It looked like you were taking it pretty seriously. It looked like you were taking it pretty hard. And the last thing I want to hear from anyone And I called this out way in advance. The last thing I want to hear is people say, well, he had a long offseason. He was with Team USA.
Right.
Nope. Jason Tatum already told us that playing with Team USA was going to have him put him in a better spot, help him make a leap. He was going against Durant every single day. No. If you wanted the rest, you could have taken it. You chose to play for Team USA. You said that would help your game. No one make that excuse for him, please. And thank God I haven't seen that yet, but no one make that excuse for him. And, the glass half full way of looking at it, Arcand, is, well, they didn't have Tatum last night in an effective role. If Tatum showed up and played a good game, they win that game easily.
Probably, yeah.
Sure. They also had 7 guys in double figures, and Jaylen Brown scored a career high. So are you expecting that every single night? No. So, look, I don't like the way that Tatum started the year.
It was double overtime. They should have had some guys in double figures.
Well, it's a fair point, but I think most of those guys were. It's not like they played a bunch of their bench or switched it up much in overtime.
True, no, they didn't at all. Yeah,
so I feel like they got a lot out of a lot of guys last night. Tatum, they didn't, but there's going to be a lot of nights where Tatum's the only guy going, and I'm not making some drastic proclamation on Tatum like he's going to suck this year or anything, but that was a frustrating one from him last night, and the worst part is that he didn't know when to stop shooting. He just kept shooting. You're a 25-point-per-game scorer or whatever you are, 26, 27, whatever he finished with last year. Mm-hmm. You need to take at least 20 shots a game. I get that. Right. Shooters shoot. I understand that. You don't need to shoot 30 times. That. On a night where you don't have it and your teammate does, you don't need to shoot 30 times a night. You don't need to do that.
Yeah. And listen, Jaylen Brown was awesome. Jaylen Brown played a fantastic game. Mm-hmm. And that first quarter, he came out like he was shot out of a cannon. And he just had this bout with COVID, too. So, that's impressive for him. And I think that Jaylen Brown, prior to his injury at the end of the season, was right there with Jason Tatum, I think, all season long in terms of, who the real best player on the team was. It's Tatum, but Brown was nipping at his heels all year. And if he played in the playoffs, I don't think they would have beat Brooklyn, but it would have been a better series, I think.
I'd agree with that.
And, to see him come out like that and look like that, I thought was very promising. But Tatum, and Marcus Smart in the fourth quarter, oh my God! Talk about the definition of insanity.
Before the one that sent it to double OT,
right?
Yes. He was turning it over. He was taking horrible shots. Yes,
he was killing them until that last shot.
As Grandy likes to say, the full Marcus Smart experience last night. Before we get to Game of Jones coming up here in a moment, I did want to play. Have you heard any of the Knicks fans last night at MSG, Arcand?
I've seen the videos. Yes.
Okay, that place was a zoo.
It was. Looked like Fenway.
Now it's opening night. But so that's exactly what I think. It feels like, the Knicks are back like the Red Sox have been back here for 2 weeks. Listen to some of these fans. Can I have a little sample of it, Jeremy? Give me a little taste of some of these fans walking out of the Garden after a double overtime win over the 6th seed, barely even made the real playoffs last year, Boston Celtics.
Son, what the baby? New York is back.
Okay, New York is back. That's one. Guy's very excited about double OT.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you'd be so excited. You should have won him regular. You should actually be pissed walking out of that game.
Yeah, you should have been.
But don't tell that to any of these fans. All right, give me some more Knicks fans.
Knicks are here, baby. The Knicks are here.
Okay. Anything else? I don't. What do they have a rule at MSG or what's the rule at the Garden? When do they stop selling beers?
I don't think they did.
I know it's the third period for the Bruins, right? No, you can get beer. I'm sorry. What am I thinking? It's the 7th inning in baseball,
right? In baseball,
right?
Yeah.
Is there no rule at the Bruins? There is a rule with the Bruins, right? Can you buy them up until the last intermission?
At Celtics games, they shut it down in the fourth quarter, but I don't know exactly when.
It's something like that. So my roundabout point is I don't know that they were selling beers all the way through overtime and double OT. But again, that guy... Is that the guy who called earlier tonight and asked if we were Trevor? Is that the same guy? So the Knicks feel like they're back a little bit. They feel like they're back a little bit, at least in terms of having the bandwagon-y fan base. I heard Felger talking about this.
Sounds like me at the Weird Al concert.
I heard Felger talking about this earlier today. The celebs were out last night. Dustin Hoffman, Pete Davidson, Jon Stewart, Tracy Morgan, obviously Spike Lee
Marty
was there
McFly
last
was
night.
there.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox was there. The stars were out. It was the opener. It was national TV. And Knicks fans were back a little bit. But that is exactly what I thought. I was like, man, this sounds like Fenway over there. Bunch of pink hat, bandwagon fans showing up because, the Knicks are a hot item again. Just like the Red Sox have been a hot item for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're as good as some bandwagon in New York fans.
Yeah.
Red Sox fans.
Boom Boom Games, your home for 80s and 90s retro video games, wrestling figures and collectibles, vintage toys, cards, comics, and all your nostalgia needs. They've got something for every console from Atari 2600 to the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Looking for a specific video game? They will try to source it for you. Do you have some old consoles or collectibles? Bring them in, because Boom Boom Games buys and trades. Boom Boom Games is also your store for Star Wars toys, Pokemon, and the wrestling selection will have you feeling that sweet chin music. Boom Boom Games in Billerica. Check them out.